Hello guys, the Super Eagles of Nigeria may not qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup tournament. I'll tell you why. This is because of the slow start of the Super Eagles at the beginning of the qualification campaign. In the September international break, the Super Eagles can try to make amends, but will it be enough? Maybe it may not be enough because they come up against a side determined to also qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup tournament. Nigeria will be up against the Bafana of South Africa in a crucial game next week. But first, the Super Eagles will face against Rwanda. A must-win encounter later on Friday. Can the Super Eagles get the victory? We will tell you more in the group of Nigeria and tell you what is happening and why Nigeria cannot afford to drop point in the next two games against Rwanda and South Africa. This is a KickOff Central TV. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Help us to grow and get bigger to ensure that we cover the latest sports stories in the world and bring you up to speed with what is happening in the world of football. Make sure you also comment in the comment section. Nigeria versus Rwanda. Be the scoreline. Nigeria versus South Africa. What would be the scoreline? Let us hear from you in the comment section. Remember, we are in the September international break. The likes of Ghana, South Africa, Algeria, Morocco, the big guns on African continent are all involved in qualifiers for the 2026 FIFA World Cup tournament. If you go to abroad, the likes of England, France, Argentina, Brazil will all be in action in the international break as well. But in this video, we are focusing on the Super Eagles of Nigeria and how they are likely to miss out on qualification to the 2026 FIFA World Cup tournament. Nigeria are currently in a group where they must win their next two games of the qualifiers or kiss qualification to the next World Cup goodbye. In their group, Nigeria are currently fourth on the standings. They are competing in Group C, and it's not looking good for the Super Eagles at all. South Africa are top of the group with 13 points from the first 6 games. South Africa have won 4, drawn 1, and then lost the other game. Rwanda are second in the group with 8 points, 2 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses. Benin are third in the Group C standings with 8 points as well. They've also drawn 2, lost 2, and won 2. Nigeria, like I said, they are fourth in the group. And surprisingly, shockingly, Nigeria have only won once in the qualifiers, in the qualification campaign. Very, very poor qualification campaign by the Super Eagles, looking at the stars and the quality that they have at their disposal, and to find themselves in 4th position and with just 1 point from 6 games. Very, very shocking. The Super Eagles have just won 1 game. They've drawn 4 and lost the other game. They have 7 points in the Group C campaign that is currently ongoing. Lesotho are fifth in the group standings with 1 win, 3 draws, and 2 defeats on 6 points. And then Zimbabwe are at the bottom of the Group C standings. No victory, 2 draws, and 2 losses there. So that's the current situation in Group C of the African qualifiers for the 2026 FIFA World Cup tournament. And it is why the Super Eagles of Nigeria may not qualify for the next World Cup tournament. Remember, at the end of the group phase of the qualification, the side that is top of the group will secure automatic qualification to next year's Mundial. The side that finishes second will have the chance of playing in the complicated playoffs. So even if Nigeria are able to finish second in Group C, the fact that they are going to play in the complicated playoffs may even deny them the opportunity to play in the next World Cup. So it's very dicey. It's not looking good for the Super Eagles at all. They are one of the most successful African nations as far as football is concerned. They are a giant of African football. So to meet the next edition of the World Cup, which will be very exciting, very, very entertaining, to be hosted in the United States of America, Mexico, and then Canada, we would want to see the Super Eagles of Nigeria to be present. But if they cannot beat the likes of Lesotho, Benin, Rwanda, then they have no business competing in the world representing the African continent. So that's the situation. Now, in the next game of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they come up against Rwanda, and game that will be played in the next 2 days, and Nigeria will need to pick all the point from that particular game. The game will be played over the weekend, so Nigeria will have to make sure that they pick all the 3 points from that particular game on Saturday. It will be Nigeria playing at home in Nigeria. It's the game, we understand, will be played in Abuja, but we will have to check, and then in our subsequent update we'll bring you up to speed on the latest and the details of that game, so that you can watch and monitor how Nigeria will fare in the game against Lesotho. After the game against Lesotho, Nigeria will be in South Africa, where they will be facing the Bafana at that particular game, we understand, would also be played at the Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein. That game will be played at 6 p.m. on 9 September, Tuesday. So Nigeria first against Sierra Leone on Saturday, and then on next week, Tuesday, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will face off with the Bafana of South Africa. Coach of the Super Eagles, Eric Shelley, has named a very, very strong squad to ensure they are able to win the next 2 games of the qualification campaign. They have the likes of Stanley Wabali, Obasoji, and Adeleyi as the 3 goalkeepers in the camp of the Super Eagles. Currently in defense, you have Benjamin Agu, Trustekon, Basse, Olaina, Bruno, you have Osaye, and then Awaziem. In the midfield, you have the likes of Iwobi, Ndidi, Onyeka, Onyedeka, Uche, and then Bashiru. And then for the attackers, later striker Victor Osimhen, Samuel Chukwueze, Ademola Lukman, Deses, Arokodari, Tolu, and then Simon. Also Moses Simon, also part of the Super Eagles side for the next 2 games of the World Cup qualification. We are all rooting for the Nigerians to win there, because they are one of the top sides in Africa. If they are able to qualify for the World Cup, and if you look at the talent at their disposal, they may be able to do well for the African continent and for the people of Nigeria. But hey, if they cannot compete and get the better of their compatriot on the African continent, then, like I said, they have no business playing at the 2026 FIFA World Cup tournament. We will see how the games against Sierra Leone and South Africa will go in the next few days. At least in the next one, we will see how the games will also pan out. But we will keep you up to speed as to whatever will happen in the 2 games. Until we bring you the next games, make sure you stay safe and you take care. Bye-bye.